What's going on, everyone? Welcome to It's a Vibe Sports Talk. I am the Waiver Wire Queen.
And I'm Dave, and we're about to hear Kia rap.
That's right. I'm about to get into it. Yeah. On my 90s. No. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for y'all. But we are about to get into today's episode. We're going to talk about NBA All-Star selection and the New York Yankees.
Yes, this upcoming spring, this new schedule coming up. Hopefully, they'll let us in, see some games this summer, get us vaccinated.
Yes, because the Yankees are the greatest sports franchise. They are the true America's team.
Yep.
But before we get into that, why don't y'all hit that subscribe button and follow for more on sports to include. We're going to talk about fantasy sports. We're going to talk about NBA, basketball, football, and throwing a little bit baseball, talking about the Yankees every now and then and how great they are and how we need them to win another World Series. Like yesterday. Like for real. All right, y'all. So let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about the NBA All-Star game that's coming up. I actually thought they should have postponed the game due to safety and health regarding COVID, but nonetheless, they decided to move forward. The game's on March 7th. Here are the players who were voted to start. So we got the East, Kyrie, Bradley Beal. Durant was actually voted as captain. He has said he's not going to play due to hamstring injury. He's been out. So you said Tatum is going to start in his place.
Yeah.
We got the Greek Freak and we got Embiid. That's still a really nice starting lineup.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. And then on the West, you got Luka, you got Steph, you got James. Obviously King James. He was he had the most votes on the West, and he's the captain, so he'll draft his team. And then you got Joker, and then you got Leonard. I wonder if they're still. I'm sure they'll still allow Kevin Durant to select the players who would have represented his team. And let's go shoot out to show you who the reserves are, and then we can just talk about it. Okay, so we got Jaylen Brown, James Harden, my boy Zach LaVine. From the greatest team.
I would have been mad if he gets selected for this All-Star team because he's having a good year.
Yes, he is. Career year. We got Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, Tatum. He's going to be in the starting lineup now. And we got Nikola, who's been playing well the last few years, playing some great ball. Anthony Davis, Devin Booker is replacing him due to injury. Paul George, got Mr. Rudy. Got my boy Dame, got Donovan Mitchell, Spider, that's right. And then we got CP3, of course, and then another first time,
Zion
Williamson. That is Dave's favorite player in the NBA. Yes, favorite player in the NBA. All right, so we're gonna talk about it. I mean, let's just talk about the All-Star format. So, the All-Star game hasn't been competitive in years. It's just,
I mean, honestly, I always liked the NBA's All-Star out of all the three, the three main sports, because I feel like at least it had a meaning to it, like you win the All-Star game, you get home field, right?
Well, no. When they have one All-Star, they normally have one All-Star game. It's, to me, it doesn't represent all of the best players. Sometimes players get in because they just had a really good season, and that's just how it is. But, pretty much your starters are normally the best players in the league, and those players are voted a combination of
wait a second. So if you don't get
reporters and
Eastern Conference
fans.
Wins.
What?
If the Eastern Conference wins, the Eastern Conference don't get home field advantage in the finals?
No. Home court advantage is based on your record.
The records, yeah, I know that, but they don't do that? Wait, no. What sport they do that in?
Not in this sport.
You sure?
Yeah, not in basketball. You got to have the best record to get, home court. So now they've switched the format up. Now you see they have the draft, which I think a lot of people really like the draft. I only like the draft because I love drafts, fantasy sports, like especially fantasy football. I love mock drafts. So I love drafts. I'm not a fan of drafting players and we're mixing in East Coast, Eastern and Western Conference players. I don't really like that, but nonetheless, that's the format. And then in the game, the format has changed as well. So it's all about which team is going to win a quarter. You have to win quarter in whatever if you win that quarter. I think they award donations to that team's I guess foundation or whatever uh, volunteer league or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just looked it up. It is the MLB who does that.
or whatever their whatever organization they want to donate to. I don't know why I'm talking about volunteers, but yeah, they may be volunteering to them to that organization, but pretty much whoever their charity, I want to say charity, possibly whoever their charity, they may donate those funds to. I'm sure each player will get, pick one. So it's each quarter, you win a quarter, and in that last final quarter, there's no shot clock, and there's a final target score, and you gotta make basket. It may end in a free throw or a basket made instead of a clock running out, and whoever hits that target score will win, and that's just how it is. So what do you think about the players voted as starters? Do you like the players who were voted as starters?
I like the players. I feel like all the players who voted as starters should be there. I don't think there's no surprises this year.
So do you think there was a issue with Dame not being voted in as a starter over Luka?
I
Because
mean,
I know some people had some issue with that.
I don't really have a problem with that. I like Luca too. Luca's good, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, I looked at the stats and I mean, since fans have a say pretty much in those starters, you're always gonna get someone who, maybe the players didn't think should be the starter, but maybe he should be on the all-star team. So I looked at stats and they both are having a hell of a season. I feel like the Blazers record is better. I can't say, well, one plays in the West, one plays in the East because they're both in the Western Conference division. So statistically, they're both playing really well. Luka's flirting with a double-double.
Right.
He's averaging 28 points, 8.5 rebounds, 9 assists. However, his turnovers were a bit high for me, averaging 4 a game. And Dame's averaged 29 points, um, 8 assists and 3 turnovers, but their record is better. The Blazers have a record of 18-14, which is over 500, and the Mavs are 15-16, which is under 500. However, they are winning right now against BK, so maybe they'll get back to 500. So that would have been the determining factor for me, but that's not a factor. When you're voting starters in, it's going to be the fan favorites. Ultimately, the fans are going to pick who they want. So so it is what it is. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. I have no issues with everyone who was voted as starters. It panned out. It went the way I expected it to go. I expected LeBron to be leading vote for the West, and I expected him to be that team captain because obviously he still, to me today, is the best player in the NBA. Look what he's doing at his age, over 30. He's playing like he's 20. He's still doing the damn thing.
Was you surprised Durant was the captain in the East?
No, because when Durant was healthy prior to the Achilles, he was the guy. It was either LeBron or Durant. It was either Bron, KD, King James, Durant. There wasn't anyone else who was, taking those top 2 spots. And those were the
You don't
guys.
think the Greek Freak didn't take that spot a little bit?
Well, I still feel like there's some things that he would have to improve on. And to me, postseason is important when you're at the top. When you're considered one of those top 2-3 players, you have to perform in the postseason. And since he's been in the postseason, he hasn't performed in his team. They haven't lived up to expectations, and that's going to fall on you as a starter. I mean, as a star, as a superstar.
Yeah, because last year he really didn't perform as he did in the playoffs.
Right now, the team is built as a regular season team. You're going to win all these games during the regular season. You're going to get in the playoffs and not win the championship. Right now, to me, it's looking pretty much the same as it's been the last few years. They're not gonna. I don't see them making it to the finals and winning. So
me neither.
And now he's stuck because he signed that extension, so he's not going anywhere. So
he got to convince his manager to get him some players.
I mean, they tried. I like the Portis move. Holiday in there, that's fine. He's hurt, so I just he's your top guy, and then your second best player is Middleton in their eyes. And I don't feel like Middleton is a number 2, maybe a number 3, and maybe number 4. He's not a number 2.
He's a solid number 2.
Yeah, no, he's a solid player, but maybe for you a number 2, you got to look at other teams. Right. And let's look at the Lakers. Who is their second best player?
I mean, you got Anthony Davis, and you got LeBron. Like,
all right,
that's punch right there.
And then when you look at BK, who's their number 1 and number 2?
You got Durant. You got 2 number 2s. You got Irving and you got Harden. So
they feel like Kyrie gets thrown to the 3rd, which is not a bad option. But when you compare their number 2 best player to the Bucks' number 2 best player, do you think the Bucks can ultimately compete with that? I don't.
No. So I feel like Brooklyn's gonna be in the finals.
It is what it is. So now, do you feel like any players have been snubbed?
I was thinking about that. Like, I was thinking about some players who I feel like should have been in it and wasn't. And I really couldn't come up with nobody who I feel like deserved to be in it. I mean, I thought of a few players, but I still feel like that roster is a tight roster. I feel like there shouldn't be no complaints there.
I had Sabonis as one of my snubs, but since KD is not going to play, they added him, which was a great ad because he's had a solid season. I mean, his team is their record is 15-16.
Right.
Has some room to improve there. He's averaging 21 points and 11 rebounds per game, which is really good. Really, really, really good. So I can't complain with that. I felt like a snub would have been for me was Bam. He's having a really good season. Their record is not as good because they've had players in and out for injuries.
That's the problem. You're gonna get overlooked.
Yeah,
you definitely
Jimmy Butler was out for several weeks, so
right.
I expect Miami to pick it up and end up being in the playoffs and be above 500. Bam's averaging 19, almost 20 points a game, almost 10 rebounds a game. So I felt like he was a snub, but like, who do you really replace?
Right, that's the thing. Like, who you take out? That's the problem I was having. Like, so a few players I feel like kind of might have been snubbed. You have to think about who you're gonna take out.
Yeah. And so others, I thought De'Aaron Fox, that would have been somewhat of a snub. However, their record is really not good. The Kings are 13-20, so
right.
I can see why the coaches didn't vote him in there. And then he doesn't have that all-star, superstar name that's going to allow the fans to vote him in. And he's not going to be voted in over Luka or some of the other starters.
Exactly.
And then, point guard from OKC is having an excellent season, but again, their record is 14-19. So can't really say it's a snub. It's a snub, but I mean, what are you going to do? Shao, whatever his name is, Gilgeous Alexander. That's
I
his
was
name.
actually thinking your boy was kind of snubbed too, but
Who?
LaMelo.
Well, he's a rookie, so it's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
right,
Yeah. He
right.
can
But
play in the
he's having
rookie
a
game.
year. He's having the type of year that he can get in there.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. So yeah, I'm. I never been big on watching the All-Star game, especially in recent years. All-Star games, Pro Bowl is a no for me. So it has been more competitive with the new format. So that's why I watched last year. I think it makes it more competitive with the each quarter, whoever has the most points, because your you're playing for the organization that you're representing, and that's your charity. You're playing for that
Right.
charity pretty much, and you want to be able to donate whatever the prize is or dollar amount is to that charity. So that's competitive, and that helps bring some type of competitive edge to the All-Star game. And in the final quarter, who's going to score the most points? So I mean, who's going to hit that point? So if it's 24 points, who's going to hit it? That's kind of like us playing 21, you know. That's kind of how I look at that is. So that's more competitive than what they've been doing, because what they've been doing has just been like, oh God, nobody want to watch it. So it should be fun. It should be fun. All right, so we're about to get into
I used to beat her in 21 all the time. She just going back a flashback right now. I'm sorry.
I ain't got no flashback. No flashbacks here. I did beat you, and that was it. That was all I needed. He used to take advantage of me and post me up. That was trifling. Downright disrespectful. Like, damn. Like, you gonna post me up? I was probably like 90 pounds. Like, that was shady as hell. But that's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's how you improve.
Exactly.
It was shady as hell, but you know what? It is what it is.
Now we get into the real sport.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Yankees.
Yes.
This is his favorite sport.
Yes.
It's his favorite sport, but I don't know why this thing takes so long. It's annoying. This is actually a replacement laptop, and this damn laptop is worse than the first one. All right, so let's talk about it. New York Yankees. This is the projected batting order.
Right.
LeMahieu, Judge, Hicks, Stanton, Voit, Torres, Frazier, who's replacing my boy, Sanchez, and Gio.
Josh, yeah.
And then projected pitching rotation. Cole was sucking up a lot of the cap space, and probably reason why they cannot do as much. You lose your flexibility when you pay somebody that kind of money. Mr. Corey.
Right.
Ferravino is not going to be playing for most of the season. You got Montgomery and Mingo and Davy Garcia.
Yeah. This is why I was telling you we need another starter.
So let's talk about it. My big issue with the Yankees the last few seasons is like you have all this talent, but you can't stay healthy. So
right, that's the main issue.
Major issue. You guys cannot stay healthy. So
right,
you don't have Aaron Judge half of the season. Yeah. You don't have Stanton, who's sucking up a lot of the salary. Right. It's hard to sustain anything when your team is consistently when your players are never healthy.
That's the difference between these baby bombers and the baby bombers from my dynasty league. For my dynasty league, we had Jeter, Pettit, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams. They stood healthy, and that's why we won so many championships with them. Now over here, you got Sanchez, you got Judge, and they're not staying healthy, and that's the key. Like if you can't stay healthy, you're not on the field, you can't win, and that's the problem we having because we have a great team. It's all about being on the field. But right now, I do say we need another starter. We need another starter badly because I don't see Club as a number two in our rotation.
I don't like the fact that they let Paxton go, and then
Right.
Tanaka. Those were two solid guys. And now you figure you go from Corey, what's it, Kluber?
Well, yeah.
And then who's after him? Because Servino is hurt. So
right. If you can't count Serena, then and Domingo, he's not a proven commodity. So it's like you taking a risk there.
you don't know what you're gonna have after him sitting out
Right.
all those
Just
games
don't
being
know.
suspended.
I mean,
He was playing well before that, but you just don't know.
I understand what they do in our organization because they really dependent on our bullpen because we have such a great bullpen that they feel like we can overcome, the bad up top, but that doesn't always work that way. So just ask Houston. Houston goes into the playoffs and championships with two aces, and that's how you win.
Yeah, it's pretty hard when you're top players, and we're not talking about like just any players. Your best players are always hurt. Stanton,
Right.
that turns out to be a horrible trade because let's face it, how many games has he played for with the Yankees since they traded for him? Not a lot, but he sucked up a lot of cap space, a whole lot of cap space, which you lose your flexibility and you're unable to add pieces. Like I really like Cole, but they paid him a lot of money, which kind of hurts your flexibility in adding players.
Right. But we had to do that though.
You had to, but I mean, if you're gonna pay that kind of money, is only 18 wins good enough? When you pay somebody that kind of money, you need more than 18 wins if you're gonna be paying somebody what? How many millions is that?
I mean, 18 wins.
How much is it? 200, 300 million?
18 wins is good enough if you can have somebody to help them. If you get another 15 game winner, another 17 game winner,
then you gotta realize you lose flexibility in being able to potentially add somebody like that because they're gonna want money.
Is gonna win by themselves. You know that.
Yeah, but somebody who's gonna win 15 to 18 games is gonna want more than 10 million.
Right.
They're gonna want a lot of money, and that's gonna be hard. You're not gonna be able to have two aces making 300 million on your team. You're not gonna be able to you're not gonna have that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, once Severino he got his contract, he's just been hurt, and then find out that the surgery didn't go so well. So now you expecting him back this season. Now you're not going to have him back again until September, which is pretty much
that hurts.
Is he going to play well when you bring him back? Because that's pretty much almost time for the postseason. So yeah, it's like it takes players a few games to get back into the groove from coming back from injury, and he's been out for a while.
Games.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed is you could tell the franchise isn't 100% confident that their players can stay healthy because they're giving Judge these 1-year deals. Like if he's the guy, he's our best guy. He's not getting he hasn't gotten that big contract yet because it's like I wouldn't give him a 3-year mega deal, and I'm like, oh my God, he may not even play 40, 50, 60 games. That's not a lot of games.
You wind up with an A-Rod type contract that you still paying them even though they commentating somewhere.
Yeah. And then with Gary Sanchez, forget about it. All the talent in the world, but he's hurt. I don't even like when I play fantasy baseball, I don't even draft him because I'm like, look, I go get catcher who's not as known and he's performing and he plays the majority of the season instead of having Gary Sanchez and I look a few weeks he's on my IR slot because my DH. I'm sorry, on my DH. He's DHing, but because he can't play well, or he's hurt, or he's injured.
Right. It's sad.
So it's like he's injured too much for me, and it's like, come on now.
So
how do you get these players to be healthy and play healthy?
The real question is, do we have enough right now to take the East? That's the real question. And then you have to look at who's in the East. You got Toronto, you got Tampa, and right now I say it's pretty close. I mean, you got Boston still, and it's pretty close. And I feel like if we don't get another starter, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard, especially if we don't stay healthy.
Like I can't even understand how they really think Jordan Montgomery is going to be a solid starting option for them. I haven't seen it since he started, and I'm like, are you serious? What's his name was? I wasn't high on him, but what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Paxton?
No, he was a really good option to start. You shouldn't let him go. It was the other guy.
Tanaka?
That Tanaka was a good option, but no, it's somebody else. I can't remember his name. He always annoyed me. He's been annoying the last 2 seasons, but I would have preferred him starting over Jordan Montgomery.
Right.
I'm gonna have to look his name up because he's now it's gonna be on my mind. That to me, I would have felt more confident.
But I was happy happy we signed DJ at least. Because if we wouldn't have signed him, that would have been very disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got DJ coming back.
Yeah, hopefully that would have been a good idea.
Judge stay healthy, and Gleyber Torres he's gonna be a problem in the league. I'm telling you, that kid is something else. I love him.
With me, I'm more of it's kind of like even with football and basketball, I am not into one season. I need more. And as you can see this past season, we'll say we're going to chalk it up to injury since he was injured. I'm going to say that, but I need to see more. And I'm assuming they are going to want to see more before they decide to hand him over that mega contract, because you don't want to hand him a big contract and he turned out to be injured like the rest of the guys.
I hear what you're saying from that, but me, I just look at his at-bats. And the way every at-bat of his is always a good at-bat going in his favor. And I like that. I like Gleyber Torres a lot.
But I will say one thing is last season when he was first started the season, he wasn't playing well to start the season, and then he got hurt, so that just added to it, and he just never could get into it. So we'll see a new season, healthy. Let's see what he does. That's just how I feel. I need to see more than just one season. That's what I was feeling with Lamar Jackson in football.
Yeah.
And Devontae Graham in basketball. He came out shooting and lighting the league up last season, and he came back down to earth this season.
Right.
Lamar, he didn't have a great season, but some of that is you can't throw to the tight end all season. You just can't. You need wide receivers. But in his case, Torres, he has the opportunity to really have a nice comeback season.
Yes,
and if he can stay healthy, then they'll end up probably at some point when the time comes extending him a nice contract. But if he doesn't stay, if he gets hurt this season, they're not going to extend him to a nice contract. They're going to end up, he's going to fall into that 1 year like they doing with judging them. So this is my question for you. So knowing everything you know with Judge, would you give him that big, mega long-term deal?
No. No.
Okay, his name was Hap, J-A.
Oh, Hap.
Yeah. He would have been a better option than Jordan Montgomery, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're right.
I mean, damn. Do you really think Jordan Montgomery's good? No. So you don't feel confident in Judge to give him that big deal?
No. I really don't, and it's a shame because Judge he's an amazing player, but you could be amazing if you're not on the field.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yep.
I mean, I think they're gonna have a good season. At least they'll start out the season with everyone.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a good season. I'm just hoping and praying we could pick up a starter down the road. Because
you got to think, going into last season, they already had players hurt. So at least going into this season, everybody right now pretty much in the starting the projected batting order, their hitters are all pretty much on course to, start the season injury free. One of my faves is Gardner. You know, he's dear to my heart. He's in my heart. He's not starting.
I mean,
they got Frazier.
The lineup is a crazy lineup. It's a really good lineup. I would move Aaron Hicks though. I would put either Glaber there or I would put Voigt there.
I'm hoping that Hicks can stay healthy. He's one of my faves. So I'm hoping he can stay healthy. You know, you got a solid order when you got Gary Sanchez batting way down there.
Way down there, yeah.
So, you know it's good. So
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll definitely see.
There's gonna, no matter how many good hitters, if your pitching is bad, then
that bad, then it does.
I would have felt more confident if Severino was coming back to start the season. Right. And then I just don't see what good reason they did not try to work out some deal with Tanaka. He was a better option than these guys down here. Like I said, Domingo was playing. He played really well before he was suspended. So we just got to see if he's going to come back as that guy or just fall off. We don't know that, but at least with Tanaka, you had somebody who was better to me as a starter than Jordan Montgomery.
Yes.
Right. We'll see. I mean, they got this Corey on a $10 million contract. That's
right.
See, you said we need another solid starter. And I said, hey, solid pitchers are going to want 15, 17 million. So you're not even confident in this guy. And he only took 10 million. So just imagine they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of money to work with.
He hasn't been consistent. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he's the number 2 guy now. Last season, if everybody would have stayed healthy, that rotation was dope as hell.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But you missed out on it because due to so many injuries.
So many injuries. That's what messed everything up. But you're right. Last season we had a good starter and we had a good bullpen. I really thought last year was gonna be the year until everybody got hurt.
Yeah. Shoot. Like I said, going into the season, so many injuries. It was like, damn, we gotta start the season off with players hurt.
Exactly. I mean, no sense.
But we'll see. Hicks, I'm hoping. Health. He is very important. And I'm not even gonna speak on Stanton because has he played 40 games? Has he played 40 games for the Yankees? Well, I'm sorry, 50. Has he played 50 games for the Yankees? You know,
I don't think so.
My God, that turned out to be the worst deal. You know it, and I know it. Yeah. My goodness gracious.
I would, if I could go back in time, I'd definitely.
Horrible. Yeah. But you know what? It is what it is. They still going to have a good team and a good season. I love the coach, obviously. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If not, then you may have to move on from some of these guys because it doesn't.
What I'm thinking is,
it doesn't do anything when you're not healthy.
If this year we have another year with these injuries, I think it's time to start moving people. That's shaking it up.
Yeah, you just have to.
You know how we are in New York. We expect winners, especially from the Yankees. We used to being in the playoffs every year, and you know.
And I mean, still in the playoffs, it's just like you can't be getting bounced out in the first round.
Nah, exactly.
With that type of lineup and with the pitching staff you had before, but now you don't have that same rotation. So that's a concern. The rotation is not as strong to me as it was last season.
That is a concern.
So hopefully they'll figure it out. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yep.
You got any more on the Yankees before we wrap it up?
No, that's it for now.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Hit that subscribe button and follow us for more on sports. We're gonna get you right with all of your latest sports news, fantasy sports.
Yes.
And check me out on Facebook and IG at Waiver Wire Queen and Dream Elite. Strive for excellence, and that's excellence with an X, like the BX Bronx Bombers. Y'all know what it is. You want to shout out anybody before we wrap it up?
Just my stinker.
Yes, please shout somebody out because you know you don't ever shout people out and then they come at you later on.
If I don't shout her out, she'll go crazy.
And so you better shout out everybody in your family because come on, you holding back. You holding back right now.
There's too many to shout out.
I want to shout out my little snickerdoodles. Auntie loves you guys. Shout out to Big Rob and Funkle Raymond.
Yes.
2 uncles and a niece will be picking back up next weekend. So tune in. More information to come on that.
I look forward to that one.
Yes. About time. I've been trying to get them to come on. Let's go.
You gonna watch the fight tonight?
Huh?
You gonna watch the fight tonight?
Who's fighting?
Canelo. He's fighting tonight.
Oh, well, I better get on to it and watch the fight.
Yes, it's about to come on.
Oh, I'm gonna have to turn on my Fire Stick now.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe I'll sip some water since I ain't had a drink in it forever. Get on this agua, drink me some water. But nonetheless, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe and get ready to tune in for 2 Funkles and a Niece next week. Also, check out The Real 9mm on Facebook and IG. That's 9mm. He is a young, talented, up-and-coming, independent rapper. He's got some heat with him. He got an album out right now, Locked and Loaded. He's got some hot songs. If you want to collab or whatever with him, just holler. Yep. And also, before we go, I am going to leave you guys with this great offer. If I can get my brand new computer that continues to freeze up on a sister. Oh, maybe I just don't know how to operate PowerPoint.
Right, I was just gonna say that.
Oh, come on now. I'm an HR professional. Why? I don't know how to operate PowerPoint. No, I wasn't hitting the right. I wasn't moving the mouse the right way. Check out this special offer. Use code March Madness 30 and get 30% off your entire order if you visit the Dream Elite Strive for Excellence apparel website. Got some great merch. If you're a commissioner, you know what it is. Grab that Respect the Commission. Have other shirts, a lot of the popular shirts.
Black Women Matter.
You can get those in hoodies and in sweatshirts and long sleeve, especially if you're on the East Coast. We know how cold it is out there.
Yes, freezing.
And you need to go on and take advantage of that offer. And that's going to be from March 1st all the way to March 31st. And as a bonus, with your order, you will receive a free digital copy of my book, I Am Poetry. Yeah. And I'm going to leave the website link and the code in this episode in the comments. So you can just click on the site and just copy and paste the discount code.
That's right. You haven't put out one of your poems yet either.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that.
Yeah,
I know. I've been so busy, just busy. That was cool. Busy. But yeah, another book is gonna be coming soon, especially maybe I want to say about a summer, maybe summer to fall area. Another one will be coming.
Nice.
Well, I don't have anything else. You got anything else for the people before we roll out?
Nah, let's just go watch this fight and enjoy it.
All right, y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are turned on, and also leave us some comments on what you think about the NBA All-Star game. Who you think's gonna win? I'm gonna go with Team LeBron winning this time around. Again, and I am projecting that the Yankees are gonna have a solid season, pending injuries.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Be safe.
Everybody.
Peace.